Dieter and Hutch, one shot and we're out. We're going to do one show this week. Stuff is happening. The world is happening. It's also the Cardinals. And the Cardinals don't really deserve two shows.
No.
There's some interesting stuff happening there. I guess there's some interesting stuff happening with the Niners if you're a masochist.
That's
and
right.
I figure we'll just do one mega show. We'll talk after Sunday's game, get back on the right track or not. We'll find out where we're at. But some stuff
Who
is going
knows?
down.
You never know with this team, Dieter. You never know.
Ain't that the goddamn truth, Jake? Ain't that the goddamn truth? Okay, it is late in the week, so we're going to talk mostly about the Cardinals game moving forward, but I do want to close up shop on that Rams game and your observations and your big picture takeaways. And when I say 49ers Rams and that ass kicking that was, what comes to mind for you initially?
It's duo. It's duo, Dieter. As much as it was the Rams throwing the ball and dicing the 49ers up, their entire identity is throwing the ball.
Yeah.
It was about duo because I think what we talked about in duo, to be clear, is a gap run scheme that involves double team up front. It's basically described by smarter people than I as power without the pullers.
Yes.
Right? So it's basically that you get a double team up front and then you attack the linebackers. And I bring it up because, one, I went through and counted, and I counted 17 out of the Rams' 27 runs were duo. So, and what that told me is they saw weakness, which is the lack of Michael Williams was a major factor in that. But I think beyond that, they also saw the ability to attack the 49ers defensive tackles pretty easily, given how aggressive they are scheme-wise, and the fact that they have small linebackers behind them. And even last year, I think it's a game plan they ripped off largely from the Detroit Lions, who was week 17, is that 40-34 win. The Lions just ran duo at the 49ers a ton. And, you know, I don't even think Jordan Elliott played that bad, but like he gets displaced really easily against duo. And by the way, CJ West towards the end of that game was getting destroyed in the waning moments.
No,
so
there was no one who stood up against it. It is Sean McVay's favorite play. When in doubt, he runs duo. And they got away with it the last go around because they basically put the entire defense in a position to stop duo. In week 5 on Thursday Night Football, they had Michael Williams crashing in on every play. They had Alfred Collins standing in the middle, which is just physically harder to displace.
He just has a lot of mass.
Exactly. If you just tell him, like, don't move, you turn him into a two-gap guy because he's taking on effectively two linemen. I mean, literally two linemen every play. So do that, have Michael crash in. They conceded outside zone because they knew that Sean McVay would just run duo, and he did. And they still got some stuff. Don't get me wrong. It's not like Kyron Williams didn't run well in that game in week 5 on Thursday night. But it wasn't explosive, and it certainly wasn't demoralizing. I mean, clearly it wasn't demoralizing. This was demoralizing. They came out with duo from the jump, and they got like 9 yards, and they're like, we're going to do this all fucking day, and you can't stop it.
That's the part of duo that I think is, I don't think it necessarily results in explosive plays like outside zone typically does.
No.
But you're getting like 5+ yard chunks with a level of consistency that wears on a defense. And I feel like the modern NFL, it's about the attrition. It's particularly about how you wear on a team and keep your offense on schedule. And I think it poses an existential threat to the 49ers because it brings you back to 2024, where we talked incessantly about the defensive tackles and the fact that they got moved out easily and Fred Warner was getting attacked. And it feels like that's back and teams are going to copy that. And I don't know what the remedy is going to be unless you put like Luke Gifford off the line of scrimmage in the box. And I don't want to see more of Luke Gifford.
Well, that didn't work out either because every time they put Luke Gifford on the field against the 13 personnel sets or even 12 personnel sets, the Rams abandoned all concept of reading the field and just said, where's 57? Hit that spot.
Right.
And then they did it again and again. Run game, pass game, boot game, play act. It didn't matter. The play was attack Gifford, kill Gifford, and by golly, they did it. And I can't imagine. I mean, listen, the Rams are they're a wagon right now. Let's be clear about that. That might be the most humming offense in the NFL at the moment, and their high is as high as anybody in the leagues can be. So when I say that I think a lot of other teams will rip it off, I don't think that it's going to be as successful as what the Rams did. But man,
Correct.
there's a lot of room to fall from what the Rams just put out there. I mean, I know that the optimists looked at that 49ers Rams game and went like, San Francisco's offense only had 8 fewer yards. Technically, yes. Spiritually, not even close. That was the Rams just kind of being lax. To the Niners' credit, I thought they played
quite literally. I watched their front, and it did feel like they phoned it in. Like, I'm not even kidding.
Yeah.
It felt like half the time Jared Verse was just like phoning it in, and they were like, it's fine.
Just make sure you maintain, contain. The guys in the middle were like, I don't know, I don't want to have to do a bunch of hand fighting. Let's just get on with this. And let's think back to what they were coming in off of. They had a bye week. They played the Saints where they had double the plays, the Rams did, and they talked about it openly like it was a half bye for them. And then they're up 21-0, and they're like, oh, cool, another half bye. It was like the end of the spring semester in school, and it's the final days of school. Like, we're not learning anything. Nothing is being taught here. We're just going to get to 3:00. And that's kind of what the Rams did after the first 4 or 5 drives of the game. They're like, let's just get to 3:00. And it got interesting for like 5 minutes, but the Niners make too many mistakes for that game to have been truly competitive.
They couldn't afford any. They couldn't afford any in that game. I will say, like, on the positive front, because let me say negatives first, because that's just how I feel like how we operate.
Well, I mean, coming off of that game, kind of hard not to.
Yeah, so like I actually thought Renardo Green played better than we initially thought. I think there was some stuff of like Tatum Bethune looked horrific in coverage. Like he looks like a problem and not in a good way. Like he's going to get attacked.
His depths are so off all the time, and they're still running the Fred Warner quasi Tampa 2 stuff. Like, we're going back to Steve Wilkes or Sorensen here, and doing that with Tatum Bethune is stupid. That's just flat out stupid.
Recognition was, at least on one play action, there was a play action where it was very clear the ball was not going to the running back, and it took him a good like full second to recognize it. And he's a guy that can't afford. He needs the mental part to be like very, very quick, because while he's physical and he can trigger downhill, doesn't have the lateral ability at all.
No.
And especially not going backwards. He can't make up for it.
No.
And also, like, there were a couple times as far as Renardo Green where like Upton Stout ran him over on that one play. And he's just like losing his mind. So I actually thought he was okay. I thought the O-line was like a net positive. Like they lost a few reps, but overall on both sides of the ball, I think the offensive line was good.
I mean, to consider, listen, we both agree that the Rams weren't exactly giving it their best, particularly as that game got out of hand. But that doesn't matter. There are lesser offensive lines that can get half of the Rams' defensive effort and still get taken. They gave Mac Jones a chance. Like, the yardage that they got was based on the fact that they were playing pretty well. And actually, if you want to go for a real like canary in the coal mine on if they were playing well, the fact that Brian Robinson looked pretty good is a pretty good tell that the offensive line was creating some real separation up front, because Brian Robinson does not get extra yards. He gets what's blocked for him, and he was getting a lot of yards.
Although he has broken a couple tackles in recent weeks after breaking, according to my own calculations, 0 over the first 6 or 7 weeks of the season.
That's mathematically and spiritually true.
Yeah, I don't know why it took that long, but yeah, he looked a lot better.
It's George the gap Kittle stuff.
George Kittle was obviously incredible.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think the linebackers, D. Winters was whatever, but like I just think Tatum Bethune is increasingly a problem. And I think Luke Gifford exacerbates that problem. I don't think putting him on the line of scrimmage helps anyone at all. I think not having him on the field would be ideal, but they're like, well, okay, we can play Curtis Robinson and we don't trust Nick Martin at all. So Luke Gifford, you stick out here, or we'll try big nickel and we'll get the substitution wrong twice a game.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and we talked about this after the game. Like, of course, D. Winters didn't know. Like, we're throwing out big nickel with Jason Pinnock, and I'm the one who has to come off the field. Like, That doesn't make
Right.
any sense to me. I mean,
Right.
technically, yes, you're the weak side linebacker. We're going with one linebacker, but it's like, fucking take 48 off the field. I'm
Also,
playing better than him.
how about Diamador Lenore, where they have Davis Allen double covered in the end zone? Winters logically takes the guy who's underneath and is wide open, and Lenore, like literal Leroy fucking Jenkins, just starts running for no reason whatsoever. I don't know what his plan was. Stafford was scrambling. So, like, theoretically in his head, Stafford's scrambling. By the way, there's people covering Stafford who is not fast and does not have anywhere to go. And
They had contain.
He starts running downhill for no reason. And then you literally watch Stafford throw it, and everyone on the defense throws their hands up in the air, just an exasperation. And there's just way too much of that every single game in the secondary. Their coverage, they just have too many issues. And it's not always one person. It's not always one thing. It's just consistently not right.
I mean, you can't tame the San Francisco hyena. Do you see this? I missed it when they played Atlanta on Sunday Night Football, but they have everybody do their, introductions and stuff. And I'm personally, I've had this take for a while. Like, I am suspect of anybody who doesn't just follow the damn prompt. And it's like, say your name and say where you went to school. You want to say your middle school or something, like go to town, like shout out your hometown or whatever. You want to say, Columbus, Georgia, like Michael Williams did. Okay. Like, that's not weird. George Kittle says tight end university. Like, that's on the line. It's at least a university. You want to toss in Dominic, I won't say it out loud, but Dominic Pooney shouted out his university and their slogan. And then Lenore comes up and he goes, San Francisco hyena. How you? And it's like, none of that was in the media guide, buddy. Like, just, you had a simple job and you can't execute it. And then I watch you on the field and you have a simple job and you can't execute it. And I'm starting to think those two things might be correlated.
By the way, Malik Mustafa has a perfect passer rating when targeted.
What is 158.3? Is that what that is?
Yeah, 158.3. Siegel was at 152.4. Jason Pinnock 135.7. So Lenore, by the way, 108.8.
There are some
touchdowns allowed, which I don't know about that stat, but
there are some advanced statistics that imply that Diamador Lenore is having a good year, and
there are others that say he's not.
Yeah, let me tell you, that's how you know that numbers can lie, because, buddy, we're not watching the same thing PFF is watching. Let's just put it that way. And
I'm not. Again, I thought we were not announced.
No, I'm saying no. I didn't even listen. We don't have the subscription. That's fine. My point is, it still permeates, right? Like, you have this. You're right. We shouldn't talk about it. It's like talking about your ex. It's like,
right.
You broke up with her, you jackass. Yeah, but a lot of my friends are still friends with her on Instagram, and so that's what's happening here. And frankly, it wasn't that good. The sex wasn't that good. I don't know why we're still hung up on it.
Anyway.
Yeah, moving on. Let's talk about the Cardinals. Can I just throw some numbers your way? Because I think it's informative. Kyler Murray, 5.8 average, his ADOT was 5.8. It's 3.1 yards behind the sticks on average. Jacoby Brissett, 8.2 ADOT. Kyler Murray, 3.7 touchdown percentage, 1.9 interception percentage, 45% success rate. Jacoby Brissett, 5.1 touchdown percentage, 0.6 interception percentage, 47% success rate. Kyler Murray was averaging 170 pass yards per game this season. He's a man on a $200 million plus contract, 170-yard pass.
I like that this year he gave up with the pretense or the pretext, whatever it is. And he didn't even go, I'm going to have a good first half and then tail off in the second. He said, what if I just called it early? What if I said, I'm not interested in playing football at all, and you can bench me because I'm getting that money, and go for it.
Well, he might not, because it is now universally believed.
We were on it pretty early this year.
Yeah. And that word got out, and one source I trust and one source I'm vetting right now. You never know. You got to keep. I'm not a trusting person, And but one source I trust was like, oh yeah, here's how this goes down. He's due, I think, 13. It might be up to $19 million for his 2027 salary on the 5th day of the new league year. So in March, they're cutting his ass. No one's going to trade for him. They're cutting him.
36. Oh, wait, sorry. Yeah. His base salary gets guaranteed on March 22nd.
Okay. So, 5 days after the new league year. So he'll be cut before then. He'll sign with like the Browns or something, whichever team wants just a gap year quarterback.
To be clear, his 26 salaries, 36.8 million is already guaranteed.
It's locked. It's locked. Yeah. They're on all these quarterbacks figured out that the rolling vesting options is the way to go. Somebody got a hold of a tech contract and how those vesting options roll, and they're like, oh, we should do that with quarterbacks. And you know what? Frankly, that's just good agenting. But yeah, he's done. He's done. He might play again this year, but that's only if Jacoby Brissett gets injured. And
is he even a guy that would want to keep playing? Like, he might just go play baseball.
It's too late for him to play. It's too late for him to play baseball, because this is actually what I wanted to bring up. I'm workshopping this take right now in public. Kyler Murray is the Ja Morant of football. Now, we have to remove the off the field stuff because it could not be further different, right? Ja Morant is not, he's doing real bang bang, not video game bang bang. But that's neither here nor there. I saw this firsthand with Derrick Rose and my Chicago Bulls. You're seeing it with Ja Morant now. When you are undersized and you play a heavy game, right? So in the case of Rose and Morant, they played at the hoop because they can't shoot. So they played at the hoop, but they weighed 170 pounds and they were 6'1" with crazy springs in their legs. And just you do that again and again and again, and the attrition wears on you to the point where now Derrick Rose cannot dunk. I saw a video the other day where Derrick Rose, I know he's retired and all, but like he can't dunk anymore. And it's kind of sad to watch because Derrick Rose could definitely dunk for a while. And Ja Morant, you look at his points inside the restricted area by year, and it is just a straight graph going down. It's AOL stock, just going down in steady. And that's Kyler Murray. That's what he is. They have had one winning season with him as their quarterback. They have 0 playoff wins. In fact, they would have been better off not playing in the playoffs the year that they went.
Do you remember? Yeah, do you remember
the Monday night game against the Rams? Yeah, you don't forget something like that. That's a lifelong
him on the sidelines, and Colt McCoy's like, "Bro, you're the quarterback. You have to stop sulking."
The safety. So, this is why he would tail off every year, right? Like, it doesn't take advanced football knowledge to understand that little man runs, little man gets hit, little man thinks I'm not doing that anymore. But to see the attrition in the arm as well, and the general cautiousness that permeated as years would progress, right? Like as the year would progress, you get more and more cautious. To see that be the base level now, you're not coming back from that because it was untenable at the end.
You think he just retires?
No, I think that there will be plenty of places that will want him to play. I think that he'll actually
be I know that sounds insane, just like on the base level of like this is guy
he's too old. But to answer your question from earlier, like he's too old to start playing baseball now, and he lost all of the athleticism that would have made him a good baseball player by playing football.
He's lost all of it.
He's lost a good deal of it, man. He doesn't. I did watch. I did just search, Kyler Murray, Jacoby Brissett, just to see what people were saying about it, and watched a couple videos and shorts. And like, it's amazing the national media, because no one watches the Arizona Cardinals. The national media still thinks this guy's got a howitzer for an arm. And it's like, yeah. Around the pandemic, when we were wearing masks, that dude
I still think he could try out as a second baseman. I just want to see it.
I mean, I don't disagree that I would like to see it. What I am saying is, I think
I don't know how much is left in the tank.
Right. I don't think he has. I think it's gone. I think it's zapped. I think he went Ja Morant. I think he went Derrick Rose.
Right. And which is to say that, like their offense now with Brissett is like a semi-functional offense. I'm not impressed a ton at all. It also doesn't help
pretty
that they
basic.
don't really. It's like Bam Knight and DeMercado and the ghost of Michael Carter, who's just gotten phased out, and they're like,
if Trey Benson, I don't know if Trey Benson is back this week or next. I think
it doesn't seem like he's back this week. They also, if anyone doesn't know, they won't have Marvin Harrison Jr., who got his appendix out. I had that happen. I
didn't know that.
I can't recommend playing football with an appendix that was removed because internal injuries. It hurts. It hurts real bad for about a week.
My dad had his appendix burst, and he waited 3 days to go to the hospital.
That could have killed him pretty easily.
Yeah, absolutely. He was going to get like sepsis. Like he was going to die.
Yeah, my grandpa was in the hospital for like a month. They're like, "How did this happen?"
I don't know, man.
What I did is I thought it was a bad cramp, and so I went outside to play basketball. I was like, "I'm just going to shoot through it, brick after brick after brick."
And that's how you knew, because usually that jumper's wet as fuck.
It's usually bricks, but it was more bricks than usual. And I went to my dad, and my mom was out of town, and I went to my dad, and I was like, this is killing me. And he thought I was trying to get out of finals. And they take me in, they're like, yeah, his appendix is going to explode. We have to remove it. So I missed 3 days of finals and called my mom, who's like on a business trip in Europe.
Yeah.
Just completely high as a kite from the hospital. Nice. It was a great time.
Yeah. Those finals must have went great.
I did. Yeah. I just didn't have to take them. It was awesome.
I'm actually petrified of my appendix bursting because, I think I would Doug Kurtenbach it and just like, no, I can power through it. I got a concussion on Saturday. I powered through it. It was in retrospect, I kind of came to like Monday afternoon. I'm like, that was a mistake. But like,
I once minorly concussed myself doing laundry, and I I turned my head too fast.
That's impressive.
Pretty embarrassing.
Mine is way more embarrassing from Saturday. I took my 3-year-old daughter and her friend to the park, right? We pick her up on the cargo bike. It's just a thing that we do. She got a new baby sister, so we're trying to take some off the mom. And so we take Nev to the park all the time. And I'm chasing around 3-year-olds trying to dad. And in the process of being like chasing after them, I tried to get up into the park. I slam. I mean, I'm exploding up into the playground, or whatever the play castle is. And in that explosion going up, my head and monkey bar collide. I mean,
you're not designed. You're shot.
It happened, and my immediate instinct was, 1, I am very seriously concussed, and 2, of course you are, you idiot. Like. You didn't see the monkey bar that was 2 inches from your head? Oh my God.
It's a reminder to me when you do stuff like that, where you're like, oh, I probably just concussed myself, and that happened real easily. You're like, everyone's getting concussed every game playing football.
Oh, yeah. It was like, you joke about, like, legitimately all I could think about on Sunday is like, dude, like, these guys are just in a constant state of concussed. Everyone is a little concussed all the time on a football field. Just, there's no way. All people do is hit your head. My daughter kneed me in the head when we were doing the business, and I got a little bit of a concussion, and that knocked me out. Like, I was out. I've also had a tremendous amount of concussions, so I'm very.
Sounds like you have a soft head.
At this point, I kind of do. I kind of wish that I had my baby daughter.
Never close.
I wish that would give me a little bit of like cushion. It'd be like the shocks on the back of a pair of Nikes. I need the tectonic plate gap there. No.
What was our? How did we get here?
Kyler Murray, little man.
Kyler Murray.
So, Jacoby Brissett's back there, and he is the 28th best starting quarterback in the NFL.
That sounds about right.
He's exactly what he's always been, which is a consummate pro, someone who understands the offense, understands the goals of the offense, can in fact execute most of the offense. And I don't think you need anything more than to understand that Marvin Harrison Jr. looked really good when Jacoby Brissett showed up. And it's like, what was more
Marvin
likely?
Harrison Jr. was like questioning his entire life with Kyler quarterback.
All this man, the scion of a Hall of Fame wide receiver, who like clearly is athletically brilliantly gifted and is not like learning the position on the fly or trying to do 2 jobs at the same time. Shout out Travis Hunter or Bo Melton. who did not have a good game the other night. But like Marvin Harrison shows up and now looks like absolute garbage. And you wonder to yourself, is Marvin Harrison, in fact, not a good wide receiver? Or is this entire offense broken? And the answer was broken. Just absolutely broken. I couldn't stand watching it. I can at least watch the Brissett one.
Without him, you're going to get your boy Greg Dortch. It's going to be the Michael Wilson, Greg Dortch show with Trey McBride.
I only bring up Greg Dortch for I only have like a soft spot for Greg Dortch for two reasons. One, I had never actually seen Greg Dortch play. I only saw him in spreadsheets. I thought he was a white dude the entire time. So to see Greg Dortch as not a little white dude, kind of slot receiver in the what's the name, Trent Taylor mold, was a real shock to the system. And two, I was certain that he was on the team solely because he was one of the few players in the NFL shorter than Kyler Murray. And there was a point where during the Cliff Kingsbury era where the Cardinals basically employed nothing but little receivers as to make Kyler feel
and co,
Yeah. And they went 4 or 5 wide with itty bitty boys. And they're like, we're going to redefine the game. And then they all got injured. And the game
I like that that instead of going 5 wide, they're like, we're going to go 6-0 linemen.
Exactly. And by the way, like big physical receivers, like save for Dortch, who doesn't really play all that often. It should also be noted to kind of put a bow on the Kyler thing, because I think this will be the last time we really ever talk about Kyler Murray in a serious context, though I don't know how serious this has been. Monty Ossenforth, the GM, who I think is doing a really, really good job. I like a lot of the players they've drafted this past draft. I think they did a bang-up job. Also, Jonathan Gannon, they neither picked Kyler Murray nor extended him. They inherited this contract. They were brought in to justify Michael Bidwell actually spending money for the first time ever, and that has clearly not worked. I think that if the Cardinals want to show that they're a competent organization, they fire neither of them and they move on from the quarterback.
Completely.
I'm not sure that's how it will go. I'm not sure that's how it will go.
Tough owner.
It's for reasons beyond high standards. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. What I will say, again, I'm with you on how they drafted. I really like their defense. Mm-hmm. I'm loving my guy Cody Simon, who I was extremely high on. Malcolm Wilson's out, and I think they look better with him out. I like Cody Simon.
Simon's more mobile. I mean, it removes some of the blitz stuff that Gannon likes to do, but it does give them kind of an honest to God sideline to sideline linebacker. I mean, he's not a leader or anything, but he sees it. He can get a step ahead, and he has the requisite speed. I don't think it's going to age that well, but he's pretty damn good for right now.
I'm with you. And then their front's just so physical. Like, I don't know. It seems like Walter Nolan will play. I would love to see him play. Yeah. I kind of need to see that. I'll be really disappointed if I don't. But like Simon and Akeem Davis-Gaither were like 2 guys in terms of free agents and draft picks I was like pretty high on.
Yep.
Josh Sweat was a real problem for the Niners last time.
He's been a real problem for everybody. The
very underrated player.
Yeah.
Will Johnson's not going to play, so we won't get to see him.
Yeah.
And then they've had a lot. They've had quite a few injuries on their defense too, which is you'd like to see them at full strength, but I still think they've got quite a few pieces I really like.
They're not as chaotic as in years past. I do think that's because they have more faith in their D-line this year. Yep. In the past years, they would have to do some really bold things to cover for it. This year, I mean, Calais Campbell, you couldn't, if you just put on the tape and then you were like, that dude's 39 years old, I'd be like, what the hell are you talking about?
He's crazy.
That's a 29-year-old grown man just absolutely whooping ass still.
Who was was it Big John Robinson? Who also played for the Jaguars? Was it Big John Robinson? Is that who I'm thinking of?
You tell me, man. Big John Robinson's not ringing any bells. The former Tennessee Titans GM, John Robinson.
No, maybe I'm thinking John Henderson. Sorry, John Henderson.
Also, not ringing any bells.
Yeah,
John Robinson was the former Titans GM.
John Henderson's the guy that was just a monster. It feels like Calais Campbell is like a similar mold, just like an enormous, massive man that just
lumberjack strength
can just play forever.
I hope he does. I legitimately hope he does, because when the Cardinals played the Cowboys the other day on Sunday night or Monday night, whatever it was, and he was just given the business to, I think it was Booker, which was awesome. Like it gave it like inspired hope in me. Like I don't get pretty like riled up about much. The Sharks are getting me riled up in a good way right now.
Hey,
but like they are cooking. Sharks are cooking. We're gonna pivot this entire podcast to Sharks in the not too distant future. But let me tell you, like Calais Campbell going out there and just dad strengthen these dudes is one of the pure pleasures in all sports right now. And as well as the 49ers offensive line is played, and the fact, who do you think starts at left guard for the Niners on Sunday?
I think they do rotation again.
I don't like it.
I really think they do. It's funny because I think Barch looks like more of a natural there, but he's more prone to big mistakes, is how I see it.
Okay.
I think Burford is probably less upside.
He's steadier to you?
He did seem steadier. He made mistakes too. I will say Pooney did a fucking phenomenal job.
Yes.
At one of the biggest problems they've had is passing off stunts. He did a really damn good job this last week at passing off stunts in a way that like has been a real problem. And then Brendel was like really up and down, but still like miles better than Matt Hennessy.
Can I do another workshop take for you right now?
Yeah.
That game against the Rams, Pooney played so well and was so good at exactly what you just said, handing stuff off, communicating. It really felt like he was the alpha of the line. And I'm like, need to see that guy snap. Might want that dude at center.
Don't you remember that was something that was talked about?
Yeah.
I vaguely remember them saying that's the only position he won't play for us.
Yeah. And part of me is like, now I need it. Maybe that's just my contrarian. You say it can't happen. I can see it. I can see it. By the way, this is a general aside. It is football related, I assure you. It's specifically guard related. I was going through some of the guys who might be free agents upcoming because we're going to be probably talking a lot about roster construction moving forward. And I noticed that Tyler Lindenbaum didn't have his 5th-year option picked up by the Ravens, and I thought that was weird. And I actually saw on ESPN today, they were talking about it a little bit in one of those kind of ask the experts things. And this makes a lot of sense, and this is another reason why the 49ers aren't going to take first-round offensive linemen. The 5th-year option is set as all offensive linemen. So if you take an interior offensive lineman, or heaven forbid a center, whose value is significantly diminished, though Aaron Banks, who is just doing a bang-up job, wonderful there.
Who would have predicted that was a bad contract?
Who could have told you that was coming? In fact, the Packers could have, because all they did was attack him, but that's neither here nor there. If you have a guard, you have to pay him like on the 5th-year option, like I think it's like $17-18 million. And for a center or a guard who's you're coming off of, you have to make that decision 3rd year, like that's pretty big. That's a big decision. So
yeah, and you kind of have to go, shit, all right, well, we're going to pick it up, and then we have to extend him because right.
So I do think that there's a way. I haven't actually looked into like what they did with like a Quentin Nelson, and that's not a great comparison because like he's Quentin Nelson. Like you just do whatever you can. You never let that guy leave your building. Like, did they extend him early, or did they just pick up the option? Like, it's just something to keep
like
in
first
mind.
round interior offensive lineman. I'm always like,
You have to be so good that you're not concerned about that, because there's no one of the reasons you take somebody in the first.
Creed Humphrey.
Yeah, and he was not a first rounder.
Yeah, I know.
You have to be so good that you're willing to pay tackle money. Which, how could you have that opinion coming out of the draft? And then, essentially, what it means is if you are an interior offensive lineman, you don't reasonably get the benefit as a team of being a first-round pick. The reason you take some guys in the first round is you get 5 years of team control at a reasonable rate. And you can get out of it if you don't want it, but that's only if they're a true bust. except if you're an interior offensive lineman like Tyler Linderbaum, who's been good but not great, and they can't justify picking up the fifth-year option because it's too expensive. So just something to keep in mind as we get into roster building and stuff. Not you, Jake. I know you know all this stuff, but like folks out there who listen, there's at least 4 or 5 comments every time we talk about anything. We could be talking about picking daisies in the sunshine, and someone will be like, "Hey, you need to address the offensive line in the draft." Meanwhile, the offensive line has looked great for the last.
I think it's the same guy. It's usually the same guy who's yelling.
They got a bunch of different accounts. They're sliding in and out.
He's like, "What did I say?" It's like, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You could be like, you could literally say the 49ers need to address the offensive line in the offseason in the draft, and someone will be like, why don't you guys ever say that they need... That's neither here nor there.
The tough problem is it's like a catch-22 of like, you need a tackle to replace Trent Williams, but you have no interest in anyone ever replacing Trent Williams.
You can't replace Trent Williams.
I know. Don't do the thing you do. Where
I've said it. You know it. If you don't know it by now, I don't need to repeat it.
But like, you can get a guy. Innately, it means he's not going to play. And you probably want a year, which is a year wasted of someone you drafted in the first round. That's hard for them to justify.
This team, it's hard to justify. If you're a good team, you can get away with it. But if you're the 49ers and you need every draft pick to be an immediate impact player, regardless of what round they're in, because
the only way that works to me is if you get a starter at guard, which is why we talked about like Membu, who fucking rocks.
He does fucking rock, doesn't he?
Who you could have done that with. And so like that's sort of the only scenario where I see them going. Basically, you're going to start at guard, but you're also during practice going to be repping a tackle as well, which is insane for a rookie. But like, I can't fathom another way where they could warrant a first round talent at tackle and just have it be a stash.
I'm very curious. Yeah, I'm very curious to see what Tampa Bay does with Graham Barton, because he has played tackle for them, because they were at a point where they're like, have you ever played tackle? And he's like, yeah, I guess. And they're like, great, you're a starter.
And everyone said I could never do it at this level. And they said, great. We need you. We're playing Charlie Heck. You sure can do it.
Dieter's coming on a plane tomorrow. Can you please play left tackle? I will say I have 2 prophecies this season. I have many, but the 2 that I want to bring up. Niners go 9-8, lose in the final game to the Seahawks, don't make the playoffs. I'm feeling okay about that right now. And then the other one is Caden Proctor's going to them at pick like 20-something. And I'm feeling great about that right now. I feel like you're starting to get some draft stuff seeping in because we're getting towards
going to go like top 15.
No, it's too good of a tackle class, and he's too doughy. Too many quarterbacks, too many good receivers.
There's gonna this is like a perfect year for some like absolutely ridiculously dumb quarterback stuff.
You absolutely know
like 7 are going to go in the first round. They're all going to be busts.
Yes.
I hope.
Who knows? Okay.
I just see Jets fans on the timeline going, is Fernando Mendoza going to save us? Maybe.
Who was the first person to tell you about Fernando Mendoza, Jake? Yeah. Saw it. Saw the vision. Cal, quarterback you. They just don't stay there. They just don't stay there. Jared Goff will be the last quarterback.
They're going to pay JKS like $8 million.
JKS is so good that I'm considering chipping in. Like, I'll write it off as a business expense because like I need it.
If they keep him, they're going to be in the playoff next year. Book it.
They're not.
Dieter. I know they won't. But
he was so sick against Louisville. It was what a joy that was. That me and 14 other people watched. What a joy that game was. Who's going to be the quarterback for the 49ers come Sunday, Jake?
I think it's going to be Mac.
Yeah.
I think they're... And again, I don't know.
I'm with you. Like, it's a guess. I'm not holding you, you said that Mac was going to play.
Yeah, I know. Kyle's being extremely direct. He's like, we're ramping up Brock. And I feel like they're going to be like ramping him up, and then it'll be a game time, and they'll say, we decided give him another week. That's what I think is going to happen.
Are they waiting for Mac to lose back-to-back games? Like, do you think that that's part of the calculus?
No, I think they're waiting until Mac physically can't move anymore.
We're getting there. We're getting there. Some weeks are better than others, but
Although he sort of scrambled and threw that ball to Farrell for that touchdown. That was nice.
it is jarring to see what a in the last game we got two true pocket quarterbacks, and like Matt Stafford, I think has been the best fantasy quarterback this season, which is to say that he's playing at a level like never before seen by humankind. Right. To be like, you have to be playing like Peyton Manning, like NFL touchdown record,
right?
Like Broncos.
Right. There's also no like Jaden Daniels this year.
True. No, true. Yeah, it speaks to the overall talent pool in there. But like, where Justin Fields is like a good fantasy football quarterback because rushing yards count for more. But Matt Stafford, who's out there just like, if I'm running, I'm getting to the line of scrimmage just to throw the ball away, which we saw twice. If he's your best fantasy quarterback, like that's absurdity. I think it's 20 touchdowns to 0 interceptions right now. Absolutely just ripping it all over the field. And Mac is unquestionably playing well for a pocket quarterback.
By the way, did you know that the 49ers have the number one passing offense in the league? They're averaging the most yards per game passing in the league.
I mean, I did not know that.
I know. I saw that today as I was researching for this, and I went, "That's fucking hilarious." That's true.
I'm fascinated to see who's number 2. I'm pulling it up now. The Rams, also the Cowboys.
Yeah, incredible.
The Colts, the Chiefs, the Seahawks, the Chargers.
High-powered 49ers. Oh,
wow. Yeah, but here's the difference. The Rams have 25 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. The 49ers have 17 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. Not great.
Different.
Plus 123 sack yards lost. Yeah, it's not even particularly close. In fact, the Niners are, this is bad radio. Niners are 6th in the NFL in interceptions thrown this year.
It's not great.
There's your mildew. That's going to stink.
Do you have a prediction for this game?
Yeah. So the last game was 16-15 on a walk-off Eddie Pinheiro field goal. I get the sense that the Niners are going to be a bit more competitive on defense because Jacoby Brissett is not Matt Stafford, and his inability to reasonably run, though he is running a little bit, is limiting to that offense in one way. Not having Harrison's going to be a problem for them. That over route that they run with Harrison is kind of the bread and butter of the offense right now on a flood concept. So and not having a viable running game because you just don't know who the back is. I think if DeMercado plays, he's okay, but I don't get the sense that he can like carry the load. I just think that the Cardinals are going to be susceptible to some solace stuff. And I think after 2 weeks of being pretty vanilla and last week just getting the teeth knocked into their skull, like Salah's going to want to go out guns blazing, hell or high water. Like they're going to do something on that side. So I do think that the Niners can kind of trick Michael Penix style, the Cardinals into a turnover or two, and at least a slowdown of sorts. I still think they probably get 3 tutties, but I think that the Niners can get 3 tutties and more field goals. So I'll go like 27-24 Niners.
I was going to say 27-22, where the Cardinals try and go for they need to get a 2-point conversion. They fail.
I don't even know how that would math.
Shut up.
No, it can happen. I mean, listen, everything is scoregami.
Don't ask questions.
I guess that would be a lot of field goals. Who is the Cardinals field goal kicker? I don't watch that in the cut up.
I only know the punters, Pat O'Donnell. University of Miami. Don't remember who their kicker is.
We're just going to... Gemini, who is the Cardinals?
Chad Ryland, the Maryland kid.
Oh, yeah. Is he still taking that extra step?
I don't know. I remember being higher on him than you, but not
were higher on him. He's somewhat like a...
he didn't have much range, if I recall correctly.
Didn't have much range. Super accurate. Here's the problem. I thought for sure that Kyle was going to be like, what's his accuracy level? We're taking him. But he had there's no nice way to put this. He had try hard energy. Like he would run really fast up to the ball. Like everything was like really high effort for a kicker.
We prefer guys who are sort of phoning it in a little bit.
No, I mean we all prefer. I'm sorry, I can't even remember who the NFL MVP's name should be. Who's the Cardinal or who's the Cowboys kicker?
Oh, Brandon Aubrey.
Brandon Aubrey. Brandon Aubrey's like, yeah, I guess I'll kick this. 1 step, 2 steps, 70 yards.
It's like Paul Skeens, where they like forced him to get excited over winning the Cy Young this year.
Well, last year he didn't, and his girlfriend.
I identify with that. It's like when my mom told me I was going to be a bat boy one year for a Mets game, and I was like, "That's great news, thank you." Inside, I'm thrilled, but outside, I'm like, "That's awesome news, Mom. Thank you." She's like, "That's it." I'm like, "No, I'm really incredibly stoked. That sounds like a wonderful time. Can't wait."
Yeah.
She's like, "You suck."
Yeah. Thanks. I was really looking forward to this moment. You ruined it. And this is when Jake had to go to the psychiatrist to see if he was a sociopath, and he passed the test.
Yeah, I watched.
Nailed it.
Yeah, they didn't believe me that Jason Bay hit 2 home runs in the same game for the Mets. They thought I was lying.
How cool would it be if I was able to just pull that date right out of the top of my head?
Believe me, I found it on YouTube, and there's clips of me.
Yeah,
looking
bat boy.
Yeah.
Now other people can look it up because
it was in LA. It was a road game, so
you were a road bat boy.
Yeah, well, that's the only way you can do it.
Oh yeah, because child labor. Yeah.
Well, because like otherwise they've got like their own bat boys. You know how it is.
I understand how a clubhouse works. Yeah. By the way, the job you want is visiting clubhouse attendant. You get better tips.
Yeah. Good to know.
That's the one.
Anything else we didn't cover?
Pretty much the entirety of this football game.
Whatever.
Do you have an injury report available? Not that it's at all.
Yeah, I mean, I should mention again: no Marv, no Will Johnson, no Mac Wilson, Baron Browning in concussion protocol, Walter Nolan expected to play, Ricky Pearsall ramping back up.
Yeah, I don't think I don't get the sense that he's going to play. Do you get the sense he's going to play?
I don't get any sense from them. I don't get any. I mean, the fact that he was ramping up is interesting. I feel like they don't need them this week. is where I'm at.
I don't know about that. I think that they could use him at any point. Who's out if Ricky's in?
Who's out if Ricky's in? Say that again.
Yeah, who doesn't play if Ricky does?
Ooh, Jordan Watkins, maybe?
Well, that's true. I think you're going to get your wish, and we no longer see Kendrick Bourne, is what I think.
I think they're too addicted to him, but I would love it. I would love it.
What makes them addicted to Kendrick Bourne?
His sick dance moves.
It's true.
His vibes.
The 49ers injury report off of Wednesday's practice, for what it should be noted, is about the shortest it's looked all year.
Yeah. Let me just read it. Alfred Collins limited, Mac Jones knee, full.
Knee, knee. There's 2 players with knee, knee. Knee might be the story of the season.
Should rename this podcast knee, knee. D Winters knee, knee limited. Trent Williams rest. McCaffrey rest. Pearsall knee limited. That's it.
Purdy toe limited. Yeah.
I thought Purdy
doesn't matter. We already talked about him. Like
Cardinals looking in rough shape.
The Cardinals injury report being 3 times the size of the Niners injury report is legitimately jarring. It feels like they flipped because the Niners had to go to page 2 for the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. And they've got like Jonah Williams not practicing. Yeah, they're hurting.
Darius Robinson's got a groin.
Looking iffy.
Not a fan of what's happening there.
No.
That said, division game. It's not a dick measuring contest, but these 2 teams do have a pretty deep familiarity with what it is they want to do.
It gets muddy. It usually gets. I feel like this will be a tougher game than it should be for the Niners, but I have like no logical reason and no gut feeling to go against them in this one. I think it's going to be lower scoring. Again, I think 27-22, sort of gritty, a little ugly. It's always a little ugly when they play the Cardinals. I think that's just how this is going to go, but I think they win.
I also don't get the sense watching Arizona. I mean, there's a lot of positive things that are happening since they've gone to Brissett. They don't feel as physical anymore.
No.
Early in the season with Connor and some, I mean, the defense can still thump a little bit, but offensively, they really prided themselves on manhandling you know, to make up for their tiny quarterback. And now they have a big, strong quarterback, and they're like, oh, we should try like finesse and stuff. And they just aren't built for it.
Yeah, and I think Salah's going to get Brissett a few times the way the Seahawks did, where they just got home. They got home real easy.
It's extremely easier said than done. I mean, the Seahawks can get home whenever they want.
Are firing on another level, but anyway.
Okay, the Sharks have won 4 straight games. They've won 7 of their last 8. Did they keep it going against Calgary on Thursday night?
Yeah, sure.
Hell yeah.
Flames?
Yeah, might be the worst team in hockey.
And I got stuck at the airport. Bad airport.
In Calgary. You
and my stuck there twice.
You and Doug should talk about that and appendectomies because he spent a lot of time at the Calgary airport. Yeah, but no one goes to the Saddle Dome and just walks out alive. I will quickly say the Saddle Dome, as someone who is pretty deeply afraid of heights, my least favorite arena in all of sports.
Wow.
Do you know why, Jake?
No. Straight up?
The press box is only accessible via the catwalk in the ceiling.
Whoa.
I hate the Saddle Dome. I hate it. I hate it. It is the worst. It is so bad. The Sharks have that a little bit because they forgot to put in a press box when they built the stadium in the first place. So there's a little bit, but they've kind of like put up some walls and stuff to make you forget that it's basically a catwalk. They did not do the same thing at the Saddle Dome. They're like, you will earn this trip to the press box. Yeah, I mean, it was not fun covering a game with my pants completely soiled, but we did it anyway because we're a pro.
And on that note, we'll see you folks later. Subscribe to the Hutch Report. Get the grades. Got a lot of good stuff on Duo this week. Go get them. And we'll talk to you after the game on Saturday, I think, Sunday, whatever day it is.
It'd be weird if we talked to him on Saturday. We're not there yet. We might get there.
I just wanted to see if people would like preload the channel on Saturday and wait for a full day.
Do it.
We'll see you then.
By the way, can we just get over 3,000? If you don't want to be part of the 3,000, unsubscribe now because it's too close. Just knock us down a notch, if you will.
Just get it. Just get us over.
There's a button. You can just press it.
We need
it. Where
for
else are you going to get these stories about getting concussed and peeing your pants? And
unless you like that sort of thing, and then it'll keep coming.
We're not kink shamers here. Bye.